Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is India. If you're new around here, I am a model and winner of America's Next Top Model. And I love sharing about everything that has to do with the modeling industry and also some amazing secrets and behind the scenes about the America's Next Top Model franchise and my experience on the show. Don't forget to click subscribe and join our little family here on YouTube. And please, if you could, give this video a quick like. It takes you just a couple seconds, but it helps me so much. You guys don't even know. So thank you so much for doing that. And with that said, let's get right into today's video. So today we're going to be talking about the modeling industry during COVID, how I was affected personally, and how the industry as a whole has changed since all of this COVID stuff. So let's take it back all the way to about a year ago when COVID kind of first started. And honestly, the modeling industry as a whole completely shut down. There were no castings, there were no jobs, nobody was shooting because in modeling you have to be around other people to get stuff done. And in the beginning when it was like total isolation, obviously we weren't able to do that. So I was completely out of work and I had to find other ways to make money. Of course, I did get on unemployment once the pandemic hit and I realized that I had no more income from modeling. But as the pandemic went on and on and on and there still weren't many jobs available, I ended up getting a job at a bar, which now I sort of find embarrassing, but you have to do what you have to do to like stay afloat. I'm not just gonna quit and move back home because this pandemic hit. Like I wanted to find a way to make ends meet and still be able to stay here in Los Angeles and pursue my dreams. So I did get a job at a bar serving. Luckily things have picked up so I don't have to work that job anymore, but I was grateful for it at the time so that I could just stay afloat and make this happen for me in Los Angeles. So anyways, in the beginning of the pandemic, I mean, there was just nothing, like I said. No jobs available, no castings, no opportunities whatsoever. So in addition to getting the bar job, I also decided that I need to create my own success. And so what I started doing was reaching out to clients and offering for them to send me a package of clothing. And I would go out with one photographer and we would shoot the clothes. I would do my own hair and makeup. I would style all the clothes into cute outfits and we would go around Los Angeles and shoot them. A couple of times even my boyfriend shot them just on an iPhone. So we did whatever we could and for what the times allowed. Like some photographers were still not comfortable shooting even one-on-one yet. So as time progressed though, people got more and more comfortable and actually a lot of clients took me up on that offer. So I worked with several clients doing that process of collecting the clothes, doing the photo shoot, sometimes keeping them, sometimes sending them back. And that's kind of what my modeling career was during the majority of COVID. So pretty much no actual work. There just wasn't any available, at least not for me. Additionally, I had recently been dropped by my agency, Next Models. And I don't even know if I've talked about this on YouTube, but yeah. So I had been with Next for 3 years and basically right as the pandemic started, like I think in April or May or something, 2020, they decided to drop me from their roster. And that was for a lot of different reasons. One of them being that a family member of mine got sick and so I was going back to Seattle constantly and didn't tell them when I was leaving town, which was a bit irresponsible of me, but I would just like disappear because I was dealing with my own stuff and then they'd be like, why didn't you show up to your casting today? And I'd be like, I wasn't in Los Angeles. And I'm sure they just got frustrated with me and I was thrown around to different agents. I was with one girl to start and then I moved to this guy and then moved to a different girl and then moved to a different department within the agency. So I felt like I just wasn't getting a lot of attention and wasn't taken care of. And then additionally, I wasn't being very responsible with letting them know about my schedule and things like that. So anyways, long story short, Next Models dropped me and I didn't have an agency for the majority of COVID, but I also felt like I didn't really need to because I was creating my own work myself. And there weren't really any jobs going around to the agencies during like the height of COVID. They were completely not in operation. So I was just like a freelance model, I guess, during the majority of COVID. And I was just doing those, I'd like to call them guerrilla shooting photo shoots where you just take the clothes with you and go run around in your car and look for locations and shoot and then send them back. And that was my work during COVID, along with working at the bar and also my social media work. You know what? speaking of that, obviously the pandemic was a horrible thing, and I wish we all didn't have to go through that, and it made us alter our lives in a lot of ways. There was a lot of hardship and a lot of death, and just, you know, obviously it was a very bad thing. But with that said, one positive thing that came out of the pandemic is just a better direction in my mind for where I want to go. Without the pandemic, I wouldn't have started a TikTok. I thought that was like for little kids, and then, you know, we were so just bored in the house and I'm in the house bored, that I decided to get a TikTok, same with the rest of the world. And that's when I had a video go viral on there, and now I have a TikTok following, which is cool. Also, I would have probably tossed this YouTube channel out the window had the pandemic not happened. I basically abandoned my YouTube channel since 2018 or something, and because I had some time on my hands, I was able to pick it back up again, and I realized that I really enjoy doing it. I love being on camera and talking, and when there's no other opportunities going on around me, I wanted to create my own. So now I get to talk and create videos twice a week and just continue growing this platform that I really truly love. So it's kind of cool. When the pandemic basically ruined the modeling industry for a little while, I was able to explore these other opportunities that I may have never explored had I not lost work in the modeling industry during the pandemic. So all in all, that was a mouthful, but I'm just grateful that these other opportunities outside of modeling have kind of shown themselves, and I've been able to pursue those during the pandemic. Now, of course, I'm back to modeling. If you don't follow me on my Instagram, make sure to do that. It's just India Gantz, and I post a lot more of my behind the scenes for modeling shoots and also my just new modeling images over on there. I love to vlog, but I just like find it super unprofessional to whip out my camera and like vlog my experience at a photo shoot. I don't know, I just like to be present. I'm getting paid to be there, so I want to give my full self, and I never really feel comfortable filming at photo shoots. Maybe one day, if it's with a regular client that I have, I'll try to do a vlog, but for the most part, I don't feel comfortable filming when I'm being paid to be a model. So anyways, I will tell you about my time on set now that things have kind of opened up a bit with COVID restrictions and whatnot, but unfortunately I won't be able to like show you any behind the scenes because I didn't take any. But all right, so let's talk about the casting process. So a lot of jobs are being booked directly. So basically clients will go to the modeling agency's websites and they'll pick their girls, and then, you know, they'll go to their Instagrams and check them out, and sometimes they'll just book you for the job. Like the one I booked a few days ago, they just found me on the website and booked me. I did have to go in for a fitting to try on the clothes, but I had already booked the job by then, so that's what they call a direct booking. Other ways that people have been casting though are through Zoom. Those are weird. It's so awkward, the things that they make you do on these Zoom calls. Sometimes they just want to talk to you and get to see your personality, but I've had to dance, I've had to do fake karaoke, like sing, so it's always an interesting experience, those Zoom castings. And then there's a lot of self-tapes as well. This is mostly for acting, and for me specifically commercial acting. So I have to basically read their directions and send in a tape of myself doing what they want to see, whether that's like moving around and dancing, or fitness, or just me speaking, or maybe showing my hair, or depending on the job, they want to see a lot of different things. But I film that on my little camera that I have here and upload that to whatever platform they want and send it in, and that's another way that we've been booking jobs. People have started to do in-person castings, but it's a lot of like, okay, wait on the dot 6 feet apart, and you have to always fill out these really long COVID forms saying whether or not you've been exposed recently. I'm trying to film here. Just a very loud plane above. But yeah, they definitely take the proper precautions. You have to wear your mask, and then sometimes they'll have you take it off for a couple of pictures. But for the most part, you know, it's very socially distanced, and everyone's wearing their masks, and there's hand sanitizer everywhere, and you have to fill out the form, so it's a lot. So now let's talk about the actual bookings, so on set at jobs. So what I've noticed is the bigger the production, the bigger safety precautions they take, which is kind of cool, I guess. So for a big client that I had recently, we had to do a test the day before, a COVID test the day before, and then we had to do a COVID test the day of, and everyone had to wear masks. You weren't allowed to really like sit near anybody. Once we had our makeup done, we had to wear face shields around the set. Our call times were staggered, so one girl arrived at 7:30 a.m., the next one at 8, the next one at 8:30, so that we wouldn't be in the makeup chair at the same time or like checking in at the same time. And yeah, so a lot of different safety protocols. At lunch, for example, another thing, they have those big long gray tables, you know, that should fit like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 people or something. And there would just be one chair on one end of the table and another chair on the other end. So for lunch, like, they had so many tables out for the whole cast and crew, and you just have to be like that far away eating and trying to have a conversation with the person at the other end of your table. So kind of funny, but you know, gotta be safe. It's pretty cool though, like to do those tests and then go inside, and yes, we're wearing masks and stuff, but otherwise it's pretty much like normal life because you've all tested negative. And it's kind of a special experience to just know that everyone around you is all good and you don't have to be like as freaked out about it and all that stuff. They make you feel very comfortable, and they do take all the safety precautions. Sometimes, usually on a smaller set, they have even done my makeup outside because, you know, I'm not a scientist, but I guess COVID's not as easy to contract outdoors or something. Contract, is that the right word? I don't know. But anyways, so clients do take the proper safety precautions, and now I would say it's almost back to normal. Of course, there's these weird quirks that we didn't have to deal with before the pandemic, but other than that, like, I've been booking so much recently. People are back onto regular schedule. I am busy, and it's really cool to just see the industry start to come alive again. I haven't yet booked a commercial, unfortunately. That stuff, I haven't even been to an audition, honestly. All the commercial and acting stuff has been all self-tapes, all online. So I haven't been to a commercial audition since I signed with my new agency like 3 months ago. So that's an industry that's a little bit slower, but it is happening, and I can't wait to book my first commercial and see what a big commercial set is like since COVID. So anyways, that's the gist. Yes, there's those little quirks, but we are pretty much back to normal in the modeling industry. It's been a long time coming, pretty much, you know, a year for me at least, to start booking consistently again. So I'm just so happy that it's happening again, and we're out there working as models, doing our thing. So I'm just so grateful that we're relatively back to normal. And on that note, I hope you and your family are all staying safe and staying healthy. I'm sending you my best wishes and hoping that you're staying safe and sane during all this COVID craziness. All right, so all in all, that's pretty much how it was, how I lost my job, how I made it work during the pandemic, and how it is now that the pandemic is sort of fizzling out a bit. So I hope you found that interesting, and again, make sure to follow my Instagram and TikTok if you want to see more behind the scenes modeling content. I share a lot over there. So thank you so much for watching and joining us for another video, and I will see you soon. Bye guys!